So, dear students, till now you have understand the terms like suspension, colloidal solution, what is the concentration of a solution, right? And you also have understand this Tyndall effect. Okay, so you are now familiar with these terms. Next, we will see. So you also know that there are two types of mixtures. One is homogeneous and one is heterogeneous. So next topic is separating the components of a mixture. Now next term is that now we have to separate the component of mixture. So we have to understand this, that most of the natural substances they are not chemically pure, right? Natural, we are talking about some of the natural substances, they are not chemically pure. Okay, so we have to use some different methods to separate the components of these mixtures. Okay, so we now in this video we will discuss about the different methods of separation. Okay, so but why we separate these components of a mixture? Because after separating these components of a mixture, we have the possibility to study these components, and there may be some other uses of these components of the mixture which are found naturally. So but we know one thing, that heterogeneous mixtures, they can be separated into their respective constituent particles or constituents, components, by simple physical methods that you have seen in your 7th standard also, that like hand picking, sieving, filtration, right? And we see all these things in our day-to-day life. But some special techniques have to be used for the separation of components of a mixture. So we will see now what kind of mixture will be there and what kind of methods will be there. Here it's also written in this that the component of a heterogeneous mixture can be separated by simple methods like hand picking, sieving and filtration. But sometimes we use some special techniques to separate the components of mixture. So what are these techniques? We are going to study these techniques: evaporation, centrifugation, decantation, sublimation. It's again it will be next will be chromatography, then simple distillation and fractional distillation. So we will discuss about these methods. One more method is like crystallization. Okay, so we will discuss one by one about these methods. Okay, so first one we saw is that is evaporation. Okay, so evaporation is the method is used for separating a volatile component from a non-volatile component by heating the mixture. Okay, so you know what is the meaning of volatile component? You might have heard or might have not heard, but volatile component means the component which readily evaporates like water. So this method is used for separating the volatile component from the non-volatile. Obviously non-volatile means which does not readily evaporates. Under, you can say this, in non-volatile, under same condition, same temperature, same condition, under certain conditions these also evaporate, but under normal conditions these non-volatile components are the component which do not readily evaporates, and volatile components which means which under certain under condition, normal conditions, they evaporate. Okay, so evaporation method is used for separating the volatile components from non-volatile components by heating the mixture. Simple, you will heat the mixture, then what will happen? There will be the separation of mixture. So let's see how. For example, ink is a mixture of dye and water, we know that. Okay, so if you have to if you want to separate the dye from the water, so what you need to do is, if some ink is heated in a dish, the water evaporates and the dye is left in the dish. So in this way we separate the dye from the water, because water is a volatile component, so it will evaporate easily, and the left there will be ink, sorry, there will be dye which will left in the dish. Similarly, we can separate a mixture of salt and water, sugar and water by evaporation. Okay, so in this way you can do this. So you can see here, mixture of salt and sand. In this diagram you can see this is a dish, this is wire gauze, sorry. So all these things are easily available in the school lab, but since so a dish, then wire gauze, stand and a burner, so we can do these experiments in our lab also. So from that we will come to know that how can you evaporate the solution of salt and water. If we'll heat it, water will evaporate and the salt will remain in the dish. So next is centrifugation. So what will happen in that case? See, centrifugation method, first of all we have to see that how or when we use this method actually. Okay, so when we have to separate the cream from the milk, in that case we use the method that is centrifugation. Okay, so this method of separating denser particles and lighter particles from a mixture by using a centrifuging machine is called the centrifugation. Centrifugation process means it's a method, denser particle and lighter particles. Centrifuging machine means the simple machine you see at your home when your mother separate the cream from the milk. Okay, so that machine can also be said that centrifuging machine. Okay, so for example, if we take some milk in a centrifuging machine and spin it rapidly, okay, so the cream separates from the milk because cream is less denser than milk. So in the case when you have to separate the denser particles from the lighter particles, we use this method, centrifugation. So these are the machines, centrifuging machines, or simple machine that your mother use at home, that it can also be treated as centrifuging machine. So till now you studied about the evaporation and centrifugation. So evaporation, there is one activity 2.4 in your textbook. Okay, so you have to go through that very simple activity. What I told you, that is what written here with the diagram, so you have to read that. Centrifugation, one more activity on the based on this, that is 2.5. you also have to go through this simple activity. You will clearly understand this. Okay, then one thing is there, one thing more which is not written here, that sometimes what happen is that these solid particles in a liquid, okay, that if a liquid is there and some solid particles are there, if you have to separate them, what we do is we use the filtration process. We keep a filter paper in a funnel and we pour that solution. Then what will happen, the solid particle will remain in the filter paper, and the other liquid that will pour down in the other container. But sometimes what happen is the solid particle in the liquid, they are very small and they pass through the filter paper. Okay, so in that case the process of this filtration, that does not work. Okay, so such mixture are also sometimes separated by the process of centrifugation. Okay, so in that case the principle of that is means on what principle they are based on the principle that जो आपके denser particles होते हैं, right? So denser particles, they are forced to lie at the bottom. Okay, denser particles, they lie at the bottom, and the lighter particles, they stay at the top. You can say they float at the top. So when they are spun, okay, when centrifuging machine is they are kept, that solution, that liquid is kept in the centrifuging machine. So in that case, denser particle, they lie down, and lighter particle, they just float. Okay, so in that case also we use the centrifugation method. Okay, so So where are the applications of this centrifugation process? This process is used in the labs. There are laboratories in where these laboratories are used when you have to give some urine test and blood test. We gave them for some diagnosis. So in that case this process is used. Also I told you that they are used in dairies, at home also, when you have to separate the cream from the milk. So in that case also the centrifugation process is used. Also the some common use is in your washing machine, when you have to separate the water from the clothes. So and there is one function in the washing machine, that is spin. So when the washing machine spin those clothes, so what will happen, this water gets separated from the clothes. So these are the application of this centrifugation process. Okay, so next is decantation. Okay, decantation is also very simple. This process is used to separate a mixture of two immiscible liquids. Immiscible liquids means the liquid which do not mix with each other. Very simple example is the mixture of oil and water. So in that case we use the process that is decantation. Okay, so for that we need a separating funnel. Okay, so there is one more activity which is given on the basis of this method, that is decantation, the activity 2.6. okay, so in that case everything is written and there is one diagram also. Okay, so you have to see that diagram. This method is used for separating a mixture of immiscible liquids separate into different layers depending upon their density. So here we are taking just two liquids. Okay, but you can separate the different, which are having the different layers depending upon their densities. So for example, if we take a mixture of kerosene oil and water in separating funnels, it forms separate layer of oil and water. Obviously you know that. Then what will happen, the water can be separated by opening the stopcock. After the water flows out, the stopcock can be closed. So in that case that water will be taken out in some other container and that oil will remain in the separating funnel. So this diagram is not clear. Now you can see from here it is the apparatus or you can say device which is used for separating the oil immiscible liquids. Kerosene and water mixture they have taken, this is the stopcock. The whole explanation of this is given in your activity 2.6, so you have to go through that. Okay, so there's also some written here that where are the application of these methods. Okay, so application of these method is to separate a mixture of oil and water, right? One more, it is given in your textbook that sometime when you have to separate the ore from its ore, iron from its ore, means you have to separate the iron from its ore. So in that case lighter slag is removed from the top by the method, okay, to leave the molten iron at the bottom in the furnace. Okay, so in that process also we use the decantation method. Okay, so next method is sublimation. So sublimation method that you already have studied in other chapter also. Sublimation is a process where solid directly converts into its gaseous state. It does not come in its liquid state. Okay, so sublimation is also used to separate a mixture of sublimable component from a non-sublimable component by heating the mixture. Okay, so if we have to understand this, so let's understand this with the common example of a mixture of salt and ammonium chloride. तो इसमें आपको क्या करना है, that if a mixture of ammonium chloride and common salt is heated, दोनों क्या हैं, सॉलिड्स हैं. अमोनियम क्लोराइड भी सॉलिड है और सॉल्ट भी सॉलिड है. सो यू हैव टू मिक्स देम और आपने उसको थोड़ा हीट करना है. तो क्या होगा, हमको पता है कि जो अमोनियम क्लोराइड है वो सीधा अपनी गैसियस स्टेट में आ जाएगा. सो अमोनियम क्लोराइड जो होगा दैट सब्लाइम्स and can be cooled and solidified and collected the and salt is left behind. So this process is directly given in your textbook. So let me show you. और उसी से अंडरस्टैंड करते हैं इसको. डायग्राम में देखिए आप. सी इसमें आपको है कि आपने क्या करना है, सेपरेशन ऑफ अमोनियम क्लोराइड एंड सॉल्ट बाय सब्लिमेशन. तो इसमें आपने वही सिंपल प्रोसेस है जो आपने सब्लिमेशन के प्रोसेस में देखा था. बीकर है, चाइना डिश में आपने दोनों का मिक्सचर लिया हुआ है. जब आप उसको हीट करोगे तो जो सोडियम जो सॉलिडिफाइड सोडियम क्लोराइड है वो इसकी ये साइड पे एक्यूमुलेट हो जाएगा, वेपर्स ऑफ अमोनियम क्लोराइड. तो वो यहाँ पे एक्यूमुलेट हो जाएंगे. ठीक है. इसमें पहले मिक्सचर डालेंगे तो सॉल्ट जो होगा वो इसी में रह जाएगा और वेपर्स ऑफ अमोनियम क्लोराइड जो है दैट विल एक्यूमुलेट ऑन दिस साइड्स ऑफ दिस फन. सो इन दिस मिक्सचर बाय द प्रोसेस सब्लिमेशन. ओके. Cotton is used to close the mouth of this funnel. Inverted funnel है, अमोनियम क्लोराइड वेपर्स यहाँ पे साइड में एक्यूमुलेट हो जाएंगे सॉलिड फॉर्म में. ओके. सो दिस सब्लिमेशन मेथड इज ऑल्सो यूज्ड इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ दिस मेथड ऑफ सेपरेटिंग द मिक्सचर्स. ओके.